Eisenstein went abroad to investigate sound technology. He traveled to Europe and America, where he was welcomed by radical film students. He had hoped to make a film for Paramount, but was rejected. He began working on Que Viva Mexico, which was canceled before filming was finished, and the footage was sent to Moscow for editing. Eisenstein never saw the footage again. Sergei went through a rough period after returning from his trip abroad. He suffered a nervous breakdown, his project ideas were rejected repeatedly, and his first sound film, Bez and Meadow, was banned. The next few films Eisenstein wrote and directed were about Russian historical figures. Alexander Nevsky was released in 1938 and was a huge success. He began working on Ivan the Terrible in 1941. This was to be a three-part film that depicted Ivan as the hero. Part 1 was quite successful and earned Eisenstein the Stalin Prize. Part 2, however, was banned since it portrayed Ivan as a tyrant. Eisenstein died before he was able to finish filming Part 3. Eisenstein envisioned a society which would finance artists totally, freeing them from the confines of bosses and budgets, leaving them free to create. At times, Eisenstein was praised for his film direction and theories. Other times, his theories and techniques have been questioned or even condemned. Eisenstein's career was ruined when he was brought into conflict with officials during Stalin's regime because of his vision of communism. Many of his ideas for projects were rejected by Soviet authorities and many of his films banned. In the book I read for my review, Amusing Ourselves to Death, Neil Postman talked about how we cannot devote our attention to something for a long period of time. Montage may be somewhat responsible for that. Longer takes can frustrate an audience. Eisenstein felt that it wasn't necessary for an audience to sit through the usual techniques of film storytelling. Instead of film editing as a smooth linkage of scenes, he used the juxtaposition of shots or attractions to produce a new meaning. This technique is widely used by directors today. Eisenstein published many writings. The film form and the film sense explain his theories of montage and have been very influential to some directors. The shower scene in Psycho is an excellent example of the use of montage. The scene lasts only 45 seconds, but it took 7 days to film and over 70 camera angles. In the film, you can see from Norman's viewpoint, Marion's viewpoint, and several different shots of the drain, shower curtain, and finally to Marion's face on the floor. You never actually see the knife touch Marion because Hitchcock was more concerned with the effect on the audience than the subject matter, which is the basic purpose of montage.